Rick Without the K James presents In My Opinion Podcast.
Hi, this is Ronnie. Welcome back. Once again, this is In My Opinion, presented by Rick James Productions. We've got a good friend here, Lee, and we're just shooting the shit and talking a little bit. Once again, we are looking for female co-hosts. And if you want any, started at this in the beginning and a sponsorship, Rick has multiple medias. He's going to be leaving all his social stuff at the bottom of the page. You can reach out and talk to him. He does all kinds of stuff, puts on shows, stand-up comedian. And we're going to go into the next subject. Our next subject is relationships. And we're talking about starting a relationship. How do you present yourself when you start a relationship? And we'll talk about later how we end it, but do you put a facade on when you start? Do you try to be that guy that's real sweet and debonair, I'll pay for it, honey, and all that stuff?
Well, first off, I want you to read what it said. It said relationships, all right? Not relationships.
Sorry,
right? So, when I start a relationship, right, is I think we talked about this before, is I have a, especially being older, I have a different outlook on a relationship now. Is I am trying my hardest to be the biggest asshole up front. I'm trying to let you know that I'm not here to play games. I'm not, because I feel like now that I've been single for 4 years after my divorce, that you run into people and it's a fucking interview process gone wrong. You meet someone, you think they're great, and you're like, man, this person, and you realize that's not dating. You haven't been single long enough, Ronnie, and we keep having this debate where you think you're gonna meet some girl and you're gonna court her, right? As a term that we were talking about yesterday. And women don't like to get courted nowadays. They just want the dick.
Bend over. Get the hair pulled.
Yeah, they don't want. So I have certain rules where I'm like, by the third date, if you haven't told me that you're interested in me, then if you want to be friends, well, friends pay for them fucking selves, all right? Number one way to get a man not interested, you and ladies, if you're like, I don't know how to tell him that I'm not interested, it's pay for your own shit. Pay for your own shit up front. He will get the fucking sign that you aren't interested. So I try to be an asshole up front in the beginning. There's been so many first dates that I've gone on that I will come home. I've told Lee, when I lived with Lee, and he's like, bro, you did, and I was like, because I don't want to play this game. A date costs a dude. Women don't even know what a date costs a dude nowadays. You know what I mean? So as a dude, when you're paying for dinner and then maybe a movie or this or that, which I tell men, don't ever take a girl out to a movie on the first 3 dates, because she doesn't have the opportunity to talk, and that's all she wants to do anyways, all right? So, but a date will cost a man anywhere from about $100 to $150 a date. So 3 of those dates puts me down $300 to $450. Do you know which kind of hooker I could get for $450, man? Like, I would have been promised some real pussy. That's a joke, ladies. But I'm just saying that I don't have that time to sit here and court you and let you think, because I already know that while I'm taking you out on Tuesday, there's another dude for Wednesday, there's another dude for Thursday, there's another dude for Friday, and that's just the life we live, because everything is so accessible nowadays where a woman just has to get on their phone, get on one of these apps, and there's a dozen dudes.
How do you get to know them if you're coming across so aggressively? How do you get to know the real them or them the real you?
Well, I don't know, because I feel like if I find you on an app, that we ain't gonna get to know each other.
Because you might have a girl out there that would be interested in you if you showed her the true colors. But if you're coming up, and I've seen it, so I know you're not fucking bullshit.
Well, the true colors is if she ain't breaking bread with a pussy, then why spend all that money on it?
Right? I mean, but how hard you come across at first, how are you going to get to know somebody on a serious level? Maybe she is a good person, but you're not giving her that chance because you're coming across as a prick right off the bat.
But you're still under the assumption that that they're coming from a good place, and I just
They
know
just want a
that
free meal.
that if again I can't really date an ugly girl, right? So I'm not looking for 8s and 9s anymore, but I can't date a fucking 2. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're on one of these apps, one of these dating apps, and you're a 6 or a 7, you need a lot of attention in your fucking life as a woman, because there's already 10 dudes without this fucking phone that is trying to get at you every goddamn day of your life. And now you're like the one person that we know that wants to get on fucking dating apps and have a date every fucking week. And then when you start hearing that from women, you're like, wait, so all I'm used is for a free lunch or for a free dinner? Fuck that, bro. So I need to get to know fast. Like, I'm speed dating these bitches now. Like, by 30 minutes into it, I'm waiting to hear what you say, because if you fuck that up, I'm like, okay, well, you're about to. I've been dialing it down at a 5 or 6, but I'm about to turn that shit up and let you know how big of an asshole I can really be.
So you've been.
So be thankful that you're married, you motherfucker. All right.
So I know you've been with the same woman for 15, 16 years.
Yeah. A long time.
So, but when you were single and when you found yourself dating years ago, or friends, I know you work with a lot of friends that date and stuff. How do you present yourself? How would you be out there? How would you be trying to get to know them? Because I use the word courting, and I don't even know if people know what courting means anymore. Courting's when you take someone out for a few weeks before you started to get physical or
I
emotional.
thought that meant in front of a judge or something.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck court.
But seriously, how would you approach it?
I guess it's when I did approach it a long time ago, and then when I would approach it, I wouldn't necessarily go the full asshole route, but I definitely have to put it out there a little bit though. But I try to sweet talk them into it, because back in the days, cause I don't think I had marriage in mind when I was dating. I
don't think any dude wants to get married, bro.
So I'll take you out to eat, but I want, I want something else too, though, But that's the thing, though. I think with Rick too, he's not wanting to waste any time or money on these bitches. So, if he realizes it ain't gonna go anywhere, then, well, fuck it, why waste it? Just be an asshole, fucking shoot them on their way, and swipe left and get the next one.
So this is one of the things we talk about that crack me up. It's like where there's no courting and there's none of this stuff. When you get a woman that fucks you on the first date, do you really believe that you're the first person she's fucked on their first date?
No, you're just glad that you met her. That it because you got it.
So how do you know? Because we were talking about this. So how do you know how to believe someone or not to believe someone if you're not courting? Because I'm old and traditionalist. I believe in dating someone for a little bit before you. I want to be emotionally involved, not just sexually involved with her. And so I know you think I'm a pussy. Fuck both of you guys.
I'm just.
Now,
You're really
we
trying
just know
to.
you're going to be waiting a long time.
Well, listen,
While you're waiting, she's sucking 4 other dicks. That's what I'm saying, stupid.
But so let me tell you this though. How do you know when a woman tells you, when you hear that bullshit then from your partner about, you're the first guy I've ever done this with? Okay, come on. Tell me about this. How can you believe someone if you haven't
Well, first
courted
off,
them?
I don't believe them when they tell me I'm the first, right? If they fuck me in a car and they're like, I've never done this before, never in that model of car, right? Like never a Honda Accord, but 5 Honda Civics last week, right? So it's women will give you this shit, and we as dudes believe their dumb shit until you've been single long enough. Then you start to realize, man, they're putting me on. They're fucking putting me on. And especially in this day and age when it is so accessible for a woman to go out and do that shit. So I just feel like you haven't been single long enough, Ronnie. You're not jaded there. You haven't given your heart out again to somebody else just to realize, like, man, I spent the last 6 months, I courted her, I took her out, I showed her that I was sweet, I did all this. But for that first 6 months, she was really sucking 4 other dudes off, like, and
I
in
didn't get no pussy.
rotation.
Now I didn't get no pussy.
But-
Fuck, man.
But don't you believe I don't care if it's a 10%, if it's a small percentage. Don't you believe there's some women out there that are looking for the same thing? They want the serious relationship. They want to be with one guy, not multiple.
And those are all the women that are probably looking for the wrong dude and wouldn't give someone like you that's nice and wants the same shit. It's always that way, bro. Where I've told you that before too, where I'm like, we had that discussion. I said, you always look for the nice woman, and that really hasn't planned out for you, right? And I said,
they weren't well yet.
yeah. And I was like, well, maybe you got to do the exact opposite. Everybody tells me stop looking at a girl that's cute and look for some substance and this and that. And I'm keep trying that where I'm like, I don't know, right? Like I've tried dating bigger women now, thinking that would stop. You know, oh, okay, only skinny women are whores. And I've told you that the last episode that I feel like even bigger girls have to be 3 times the whore because they don't have the same amount of dudes coming after them. So they gotta turn up the whore knob a little bit and fucking get out on these streets and in them sheets. So I tell you, maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to stop looking for the wholesome girl and you contain a rowdy girl. I don't know, because sometimes opposites do attract. Because I'm just saying, right? Like you've been on the other side, trying to find the nice wholesome girl that's gonna sit home and churn butter and shit. But
dude, you make me sound like 108.
But that really hasn't panned out for you, right? So, I mean, where do you go from here?
We talked before about all having a type we look for, though, right? Like
Yeah.
you talked about how 10 or 15 years ago, you wanted this damn near like model. And then you changed because you said, I think I'm picking wrong. I'm going to start dating stuff I normally wouldn't date. But that didn't work out for you either.
All I can say is fuck series.
I'm talking about in general. Right?
That's gangster right there.
Yeah, super gangster.
So how do you tell the difference? And I know this is a tough question for you being with the same woman for so long, but go back to your younger and street days and stuff. How do you tell when a woman's lying to you about, oh, you're the only dude I'm doing, or you know what, I've never had a man do this, or whatever, or
You know, they're all liars. I mean, seriously, you know, I mean, there's been, you know, times, oh, I normally don't do this. Oh, I know, I don't either. You know what I mean? You know, just lie to them. Just lie back.
Just lie back.
You know what I mean? Because, fuck, I mean, come on. I don't know, I guess just, you were kind of, you were the one, you wanted to court her, and then, you know, you were.
that's kind of how I was raised, though.
Yeah, and that's good. That's what's happened is our age. It's not every year like generations. You say the sex goes up with the numbers statistically. Yeah. Well, you know, I bet you not as many people stay married. You know, because like my grandparents being first loved and married, and you know what I mean. That was it. They were the only two that were together their whole life. You know, and I just think that's crazy. That's cool. I mean, but
I think a first marriage has it's over a 70% failure rate, right? I believe it is, which is high.
I think it's less now because people are getting married older, which I believe should
help. Right.
Should help. I believe a dude shouldn't be able to get married till age 35, because I think we're all pretty immature to begin with. You know what I mean? And we change, and women are already mature. Yeah, when we find it, you know what I mean? When I got married, I was 20, 21, right? The first marriage, and I know now that we probably, our maturity level wouldn't have never caught up, right? Would have never caught up. I was gonna say when I was 50, but no, not even that. So I know that now. So I think that's one thing I try to preach to my sons is hold off. You know, don't wait till you're a little older. Wait to make kids, because kids will turn a relationship into something else, and it'll become about the family and not, you forget that you have a partner, and most partners forget that shit, and then when the kids leave, they don't know how to interact. You know what I mean? Because they haven't been partners for the past 18 years or whatever. So that takes a big toll in a relationship as well.
Yo, it's your boy Charlie Murphy, my main man, Rick James. That's the one you think, the comedian Rick James. Get up on him.